Every human being in this world is driven by one universal desire: success. Deep inside every heart lives a vision of something greater, a better future, a stronger identity, and a life filled with meaning, purpose, and dignity. No one wakes up intending to fail, and no one consciously chooses a life of limitation. Yet despite this shared desire, only a small number of people ever reach their true potential. Most remain trapped in an invisible cycle where days turn into years, potential dissolves into routine, and dreams slowly fade into regret without even being noticed. This leads to a deeper question. If almost everyone wants success, why do so few actually achieve it? The answer is not intelligence, talent, or opportunity. It is something far more subtle and far more dangerous: comfort. Comfort rarely appears as an enemy. It feels safe, familiar, and reassuring, but over time, it slowly weakens ambition, softens discipline, and convinces people to stop growing, turning what feels like security into silent limitation. To understand this truth, consider a powerful story. A wise old man once traveled with his son through a distant countryside and came across a vast stretch of fertile land, wide, rich, and full of potential, yet completely abandoned. The soil was dry, the surroundings lifeless, and the silence heavy with unrealized possibility. In the center of this forgotten land stood a small, worn-out house. Feeling thirsty, the old man approached it, where a middle-aged man welcomed them inside along with his children. Their faded clothes and tired faces reflected years of quiet struggle, yet they offered water with humility and kindness. As the old man looked at the vast, empty field outside, he asked, "You have such a large piece of land. Why don't you cultivate it? How do you survive here?" The man replied calmly, "We have a buffalo. It gives us milk. We sell some, use some, and that is enough for us to survive." The old man said nothing, but something inside him had already shifted. That night, while the family slept peacefully, the old man woke his son and said quietly, "We are leaving now, but before we go, we will push their buffalo off the cliff." The son was shocked beyond belief. He could not understand how they could destroy the very thing that sustained a family who had shown them kindness. "They helped us. How can we do this?" he asked in distress. But the old man remained silent and firm. Torn between conscience and obedience, the son eventually followed. Together, in the darkness of night, they pushed the buffalo off the cliff and disappeared without a trace. Years passed, and the son grew older and became successful in life, yet he could never forget that night. Guilt stayed with him like a shadow he could not escape. Eventually, unable to carry it any longer, he returned to that place, uncertain of what he would find. But what he saw left him completely frozen. The barren land had transformed into a thriving orchard, lush, green, and full of life. Trees stood heavy with fruit, and where emptiness once lived, abundance now flourished. At the center stood a strong, beautiful house. Confused and overwhelmed, he walked forward and knocked on the door. When it opened, he was stunned to see the same man standing before him, now calm and confident. Trembling, the young man said, "You may not recognize me, but years ago I came here with my father." The man smiled and replied, "How could I forget? You left without saying goodbye. And that same night, our buffalo died. It fell off the cliff." After a brief silence, he continued with quiet strength, explaining how those first few days had been the hardest of their lives because the buffalo was their only support. But that loss forced them into action. With no choice left, he began cutting wood and selling it, then bought seeds and started working the land himself. Slowly, things began to change. The soil responded, crops grew, and life returned. Eventually, he planted fruit trees, worked harder than ever before, and transformed the land completely. Today, he said, this orchard sustains them fully and provides for nearby villages. Then came the deepest truth. None of this would have happened if the buffalo had survived, because he would have remained dependent, comfortable and unchanged, never discovering what he was truly capable of becoming. At that moment, the lesson became undeniable. Now ask yourself honestly, do you also have a buffalo in your life? Something that keeps you comfortable, something that gives you just enough to survive but never enough to grow. It may not be obvious, it may look like routine, fear, habit, or stability. But its effect is always the same. It keeps you still. And stillness over time becomes limitation. Most people never reach their true potential, not because they cannot grow, but because they become attached to comfort. They stop challenging themselves, stop taking risks, and slowly settle into a life that feels safe but small. Yet growth has never existed inside comfort. Growth begins where comfort ends. If you truly want to rise and transform your life, you must be willing to release what keeps you still. Comfort does not build strength. Struggle does. Every extraordinary life is born through uncertainty, sacrifice, and courage. The people who change their lives are not always the most talented. They are the ones who refuse to remain where it feels easy. Because if you keep choosing ease, if you keep telling yourself, this is enough, you will never become more than what you are today. You will never build something extraordinary. You will never plant your orchard. So take that step, break free from your comfort zone, and push your buffalo off the cliff. Because beyond discomfort lies the life you were always meant to live.